Do you ever get so angry that you could just literally explode with rage? Well, Unchained feels your pain, man. She feels your pain. Her passive ability, Blood Magic. 50% of her damage is transferred to an overcharge bar. Which is nice because you don't have to worry about your health, but you gotta monitor that overcharge bar because if you overcharge too much, you're gonna blow up and you're gonna die. So be careful. Her career skill, Living Bomb. Sienna explodes. She seems to do that a lot. Dealing damage to surrounding enemies, setting them aflame, and clearing her overcharge. Kind of a last ditch, life saving ability. If you get too overcharged, you can do this at the last minute and save yourself and hurt some enemies in the process. She also has Slave to something I can't pronounce and I'm not going to try. No overcharge slowdown. Nice. Cool. You're going to be overcharged a lot, so you can move. Great. Unstable strength. Increased melee power on high overcharge by up to 60%. Pretty cool, because you're going to be overcharged a lot, so you want that extra damage. Very nice. For the purposes of this build, I'm going to be using the Flaming Flail, so I like Soul Quench. Staggering enemies with a melee attack grants temporary health. Pretty cool. You also have Reckless Rampage over here. Damaging multiple enemies in one swing with melee weapon grants temporary health, max 5 enemies. This is good for like a dagger. I could even see this maybe with a crowbill. Something that swings quickly, right? Something that can hit lots of enemies in a short amount of time. Heal share I'm not a fan of, but people use it. I much prefer to have temp health. Just a personal preference there. Then you have a Frenzied Flame, increases attack speed by 15% while at or above high overcharge. So not only do you get this extra power, you get extra attack speed. Great. You're going to be smacking people around with your flail. Cool. Searing Grasp right here. This one's actually, honestly, not that bad. I think it goes like pretty good with the dagger. You could you'd have to go for like a stamina build, so you could push a lot. You just you'd run up to whatever enemy, you just push them, and then you'd melee them. You just do a little extra damage. It's kind of nice. This chain reaction here, burning enemies have a small chance to explode upon death. So you would think this would, they would explode and it would spread to another enemy. But no, they just explode and die. I don't know why it's called chain reaction. This ability has irked me for so long because I want it to be this cool thing where it spreads to other enemies, but it doesn't do that. So I wouldn't even use this one. This one's garbage, complete garbage. And down here, I like Mainstay. Just going for that stagger, so more stagger damage. It's very possible to use enhanced power. You will get extra damage across the board, range, melee, burn as well. Whereas for this purposes of this build, I'm more going for a melee thing versus a overall thing. So, but either one of these, would work pretty good. But I recommend Mainstay. And then down here, this is probably her best ability right here, Dissipate. Block cost is reduced by 50% when overcharged, and blocking attacks vent overcharge. So, if you have a really high overcharge and you've got a swarm on you, you can just block a couple hits, and boom, your overcharge is going to go down. Pretty cool. Pretty nice, pretty useful. Then you have Conduit, increases rate of venting overcharge by 30%, reduces damage taken from venting by 15%. So, this one's kind of dumb. It's just your overcharge goes down more faster, and then you just take less damage, but you're already taking half damage anyway, so that doesn't really matter. That one's kind of stupid. Then you have Numb to Pain, reduces damage taken by 5% for 15 seconds after taking damage from venting overcharge, stacks up to 3 times. Again, another kind of dumb ability for her because she's already taking half damage. You don't really need any more damage reduction. You can just throw Bark Skin on there and you'll be good, bro. Seriously. Then you have Enfeebling Flames. Burning enemies deal 30% less damage. you know, this one I could see if you're going for that fire sword thing, or if you really want to make every single enemy burn, like something to kind of keep the squad from taking as much damage. I could see it. I don't think it's all that great. I much prefer burning dregs over here. Dropping below 50% health, Vensol overcharge can only trigger every 60 seconds. So this one's pretty good, especially if you don't use Unchained all that much, or the flail, and because you're probably going to take a lot of hits. So, you know, if you are getting messed up pretty good and you get hit a bunch of times and your overcharge is going up and you drop below half health, it's going to clear it for you right away. That's kind of nice. Just a little extra lifesaver thing. You also have natural talent, just 10% less overcharge generated. I don't know that it's all that helpful, but, you know, if it's something that you feel fits, go ahead and use it. But I think this is probably the most practical selection. And then down here you have Flame Wave, increases the radius of the living bomb explosion by 50%, so just a bigger radius there. Fuel for the fire. Each enemy hit by a living bomb increases power by 5% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, so that's 25% increased power for 10 seconds. You know, not horrible, but like not really all that great, just to be honest with you. It's kind of mediocre. The best one, I think, for her is Bomb. That is annoying to say, but Living Bomb also restores 30% temp health to allies, so much like Kruber's ult, same kind of thing here. If you have a Zealot and he's got low HP, you can do this. It's just another way to help keep the squad alive, because, you know, Siennas, they tend to do a little bit of friendly fire damage with their stabs usually, so this is just something to kind of make up for that a little bit. And then for the equipment, I've mentioned I use the Flaming Flail. Crit chance, attack speed, swift slaying. It is a little slow. That's why I go for the kind of speed critty kind of build. The good thing about the flail that kind of goes unnoticed a lot of times is it ignores shields. So if you have like you say you trigger a patrol, and it's like all freaking shield rats, you can just, you know, your teammates will be struggling with those shields, and you'll just be bashing your way through like nobody's business. One of the nice things about this, the trade-off is a little bit of attack speed. And then for her, I like the Bolt Staff. I use this one for Pyro as well. Crit chance, crit power. Just lets her be useful against specials, bosses as well, and if she needs to, allows her to kind of control her overcharge a little bit. You know, if you're a skilled Sienna player and you are able to, like, you know, kind of not take like a million hits in a match, you can kind of raise your overcharge a little bit to get that extra attack damage if you need it. And then the necklace, health. Everybody should be using health on the necklace. Bark Skin, I think, makes plenty of sense with her, but you could also use Bunashalia. It's another good one. I do not recommend Natural Bond with her. It's completely pointless. I already don't like Natural Bond, but with her it's especially pointless, because like you take like 30 damage and then you're just gonna heal that 30 damage. What's the point? You don't need it. And then on the charm, Power vs. Chaos, a little extra attack speed for that flail. And I actually used Decanter with her. Her ability cooldown is quite long. I think it's like 2 minutes. It might be the longest cooldown of any character, to be honest with you. It's very long. So if you have purple, drink that sucker, you get that ability back. If not, if you have speed, it'll just last longer. Strength, it'll last longer. You know, Concoction's not going to serve her very well, because her ability cooldown is just so long. You can also use Proxy with her. That's another good one. Either of those two would be fine, but I definitely recommend Decanter. I think it's better. And then the Trinket, Curse Resistance, Crit Chance. I almost never change this, to be honest with you. Shrapnel is just one of those talents, man. Traits rather. I just love it. It's so good. Like, you just get a bomb, you coordinate with your squad real quick, you throw that bomb at a monster, everybody just unleashes their ults all at once, and the thing is dead in 2 seconds. It's great. I freaking love it, man. So yeah, overall, Unchained's pretty tanky. You gotta be careful about that overcharge. But, you know, she can do some serious damage. And she gives temp health. How great is that?